Hello, hello. Welcome everyone back to Childcare Confidential. My name is Katy Dank, and I am unfortunately the only host for today's episode. My normal, fun-loving, fun-spirited co-host, Ms. Jessica Hampton, is unfortunately under the weather, probably snuggled up with a weighted blanket and hopefully some soup by now. But for today, we will be diving back into one of my favorite topics, and that is Jaron. So this is Jaron part 2. If you've listened before, you'll know that Jaron is the wonderful nickname that I have gifted oh so sweetly to Ms. Jessica for basically being a Karen in the world of ECE and all of the Jaron things that she loves to do so much. So let's get started. We all know that in every school there is a Jaron something. There's at least one or two teachers that go about their day looking for something to be wrong. And that's where you find yourselves a Jaron. And it's not always a bad thing. I feel like a Jaron is maybe even a good thing, depending on how you look at it. But for today, so if I was defining what a Jaron personality type would be, my go-tos would be the teacher who can spot a mislabeled cubby from about 30 foot away. Good old Jaron for you. The one who defends play-based learning like it's a competitive sport, because why wouldn't you? It's for the tiny humans. We have to. And finally, equal parts nurturing, organized, and very dramatic about some of the things that maybe we wouldn't be as dramatic about, depending on the day. Jaron is a wholesome Karen. It's not like your regular Karen that just raises their hand and wants to get you in trouble and complains about everything. No, no, no. It's about the things that genuinely matter to tiny humans, and that's when they take on the role of a Jaron. So there is a few stories that are my personal favorite when it comes to Jaron and our lovely adventures together, but a few of them I figured we would get going with would be like the time I remember she had me go and refill the schools up with new art supplies. Everybody's all excited because new stuff. It's basically Christmas at that point. They don't even care that it's crayons and markers. We're putting all the things away. We're getting it all sorted. Turns out some of my teachers decided to put the broken crowns mixed in with the new crowns. Oh no, 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 no. Jaron was not a fan. That did not end up well for anybody. You don't do that because that's just shortcutting, and obviously that's how we ended up in the space that we were in. Bad. So that's first thing first. Go Jaron. Second, the Play-Doh negotiation. Oh, Lord heavens. I'm a big believer that you got to decide on the hill you want to die on. Very much so. So what I mean by that is if there's an issue with staff or the tiny humans or they're doing XYZ or whatever the case may be, is that really the hill that you are worth dying on just because you want to make it a point? If you're a Jaron, absolutely, because it's integrity and that's how we keep everyone structured and on a path. Great. So back to this Play-Doh. The kiddos are mixing the Play-Doh and there's blue and red, and we were in this whole deep dive into color mixing and what that would look like. So you would be like, oh yes, this is just another opportunity for the kids to get involved. Wrong. No, we don't mix the Play-Doh. That's against the rules. There's signs everywhere. There's spaces for that. And there's specific Play-Doh that could be mixed, but this is not one of those situations. Not a good opportunity for the tiny humans, but Jaron 100% was not letting that fly. Another one of my famous and favorite things about her. Okay, and then the missing book scandal. So if you do not know a Jaron, I'm so sorry. They brighten your day. They're better for you. They keep you in line. But if you do know a Jaron, you'll know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about those specific people who we have a book. It's supposed to go in the bookshelf where it's labeled accordingly. So it's in alphabetical order, all the great things. Did one of them get misplaced? Yes, it did. Did we go through every single classroom like we were in an episode of CSI to find it? Yes, we did. Because that one book out of spot, ain't happening. Not okay. We didn't enjoy that. Another Jaronism. Thank you so much, Jess. Okay. But if we're being 100% real, there are very specific things in the world of ECE that drive our Jaron. I don't know about everybody else's, but drive our specific Jaron up a wall. And I'm going to share those with you because I think they're fun and funny. A little mixture of both. So, first, when someone says early childhood teachers just play all day, basically just what? You think that we're supposed to sit and be sad? No, of course we play. But it's play-based learning. Therefore, no, no ma'am, no sir, you're wrong. Next, when the laminator jams at the worst possible moment. So, years ago, Jaron went out of her way and bought us one of those heavy-duty giant laminators, like the commercial grade, right? You put all your things lined up. You could get them through probably in like 10-15 minutes and have your whole project done. Our staff still choose or think that they need to choose to do the tiny one that takes 10,000 years because it's easier to put in your classroom in between doing stuff, whatever. But oh, no, no, no. Jaron says, I bought you that bad boy. We're going to learn how to use it, and we're going to learn how to use it today. So she takes teacher by teacher up there. She's showing them how to use this giant machine that's going to save them so much time. We have 47 other laminators, but of course, she said, nope, we bought this. This is the one we're using. This is the one you should use. Oh, Jaron. When a parent texts to say, is their school open today? Even though we would like to pride ourselves on communication, and there is a yearly calendar that gets sent to parents on the first day of our school starting, which is always like in July, because we're July to July school. But why? Why on earth? Yes, of course it's closed because it says school is closed. Why are you calling? I don't know, but she loves that. It's one of her favorite things, if you didn't know. When snack time or waking up from a nap is missed, like that spot on time, nope, we have lesson plans, we have schedules, all of those things are there for a reason. So if we're not like in order following to a T and you get off topic, it's not going to go over well for you. I promise it's not going to go great. Thank you so much, Jaron. Okay, and glitter. I know that if she was on here right now, she would already be making the face. It's like the infamous face, and I love it so much. It's one of my favorite and most heartening things. Glitter. Oh, glitter. Jess is repulsed by anything glitter. Now, of course it's cute. Of course you're like, oh, until it's in your school and it's everywhere and in every crevasse known to man. Nobody likes that. Not a single soul. So I don't really blame her on that one. Go, Jaron. All right. When someone reorganizes something to help, and I say help with quotations around it because are they helping? No, you're not. You're not. You're actually making it worse. I love when our staff are like, oh, I've got extra time. Do you need such and such done? I sure do, because I've already got it mapped out, organized. I know exactly how I want it, and I just push them to where it needs to go, and they take care of it. It's great. But have you ever had one of those teachers that's like, I'm going to go rearrange the staff resource area and I'm going to get everything all beautified and it's going to be organized and great. And you're like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I needed that. No, incorrect. You're not going to like that because they're not going to do it the way that you had thought that they should have done it. Wrong again. But another one that Jess and Jaron make a good point about. All right. And then when grown-ups underestimate how hard our jobs are. I have parents daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, it doesn't matter. It's kind of all over the place. That will tell me and be like, I actually can't believe how much you have to do. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? And they're like, well, every time I'm in here, you're smiling and saying hi and you're greeting people. But then they see the calendars. They see the updated newsletters. They see sometimes I'm basically Bob the Builder and putting half of the things back on the wall because, of course, we can just do it ourselves. Make it make sense. I don't know. But yeah, I don't disagree. My job is hard. It's rewarding, but it's hard. And anyone who says differently, apparently hasn't been in the field long enough or isn't doing the right things when it comes to their job to understand how demanding and tasking it can be. Okay. Now, it actually feels kind of weird and off-putting to be on here and discussing early childhood without my partner in crime. So, just so you know, you're highly missed. I wish you were on here. I already can kind of imagine some of the things you'd be saying back to me on some of these things that I've defined you as a Jaron. But like, I can see you say, well, you need to tell the right story because you forgot where the Play-Doh, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I know you would try to tell me that. I 100% have no doubt in my mind that that is something you would do. Or my favorite is, well, that's not what happened. And then it's, well, it did happen, but did it happen like that? I don't know. It's always a good time. And it keeps me on my toes, so I'm not mad about it. All right. So, Jess/Jaron, I need you to rest up. We miss your energy, we miss your face, and I can't wait for you to be back for our next episode, hopefully next week. For our listeners, thank you for listening to Jaron Part 2. I wish she was on here, but of course she has to be homesick, hopefully feeling better here soon. I encourage anyone who is listening or has heard us before, send us your like unhinged Karen moments. Do you have a Jaron that works for you in your facility? Do you have someone that this fits perfectly, that you have some really great stories that could help define it a little bit better? Please send it our way. I would love to hear it. I know Jess would too. And then the next time that we get on here, hopefully you see Jess and myself fully rested, caffeinated, bubbly, outgoing human as Jess is. We appreciate you. We love you. Keep listening, keep sharing, keep spreading the word, and we'll talk next time.